This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. They'll run it to the right. And the visitors have nothing doing as they are greeted rudely on the opening play of the game. Guys, let's chat about Florida. By the end of the day, one of these two teams will control their conference destiny the rest of the way. Potential bye in the college football playoff on the line. This game critical at this point in the season for both teams.
And so much talent in this game, too. Outstanding coaching staffs, NFL talent on both teams going into this one. David, this might be a rematch in the conference championship game. We might get to see this matchup again.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have two teams playing so well at the top of their conference. You know this game matters. There's no sleepwalking into this game. You see the numbers at the top of the conference. It's you and it's them. Who's going to come out today?
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Moore to the air. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
That is exactly how you set a tone when you're on defense, and especially when you're at home. If you can get them and force them into a punt early, keep that crowd going and involved, man, is it fun to play defense.
Here's the punt, and it is not a very good one. A short punt. Three tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. Going to the ground. Plows through the defense. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create second and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
Breaks into the open. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. A great catch and run for 6.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And he's going to bring this one out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. We thought we might see some of this. They'll go to the Wildcat formation here. On the direct snap, it's Gibson. Oh, and he's going backwards. Defense not fooled at all by the Wildcat.
Man, this defense is setting the tone early. 3 and out on the first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, they get a TFL. They are sending a very clear and distinct message to this offense. They are going to set the tone of this game.
Lining up in the Wildcat, let's see what they've got. On the direct snap, it's Gibson. How about that elusiveness? He's got space. Determined run, but he stopped after 2 yards down at the 13.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
They've got them then deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. home field advantage can have, there it is. The offense will walk it back. They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. Moore will throw. Fires to the wideout. It's picked off, and that's number 10.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. Running to the left. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
2nd down, he'll throw it. Finds his big tight end. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Well, they're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the 1st down.
The offense changing the play. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Touchdown, Tigers! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
And how about the offense? They spread them out. Everybody spread wide. Easier to read a defense when you do that. They find the matchup they want, and they get rewarded with the score.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they top it off with a 14-yard pass for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's not going to take the touchback. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Gators sending the offense back to work. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. Going for it all. Makes a grab at the 25, and there's room. Touchdown, Gators! And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching him.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown, just like that. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. They get him stopped, and he was close to taking that one a long ways down at the 38. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. The early scripts have worked trying to add to this 14-7 lead. Trying the left side. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. When these two first met in 1937 in Baton Rouge, LSU shut out the Gators. Florida would notch the first road victory in this swampy series when they beat LSU on the Bayou in 1956.
And a lot of history between these two teams, because even when there were two divisions in the SEC, this was a constant cross-division rivalry featuring lots of NFL talent and some really dramatic games. I remember being the #1 team in the nation back in 1997, going into Baton Rouge and losing, and the fans rushing the field, tearing down the goalposts. These two teams have unbelievable fan bases and lots of talent on the field.
He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on third down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm. But after that last running play moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
Motion from the wide receiver. To the air on first down. They're setting up the screen. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
That's a backbreaker if you're the offensive coordinator, because on the first down, you ran the ball, had a really nice gain. Short yardage situation, you just get completely blown up, and now you're having to probably dial up a throw on third down. You need more consistency from the guys up front.
Snagged in the middle. It's Watkins. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open. Who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Looking to fire. Here's the pressure. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. Fires to the middle. Intercepted, and that total goes to 16.
Timing has to be so good. When you're throwing at his own defense over the middle of the field, the ball's got to come out specifically on time because these windows close really quickly. Ball there thrown a little bit late. As a result, it's an INT.
Yards in front of them as they start the drive at their own 10. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. Hammers ahead for a yard out to the 12.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Moore to the air. Right down the middle. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent. He's making bad decisions.
We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the second. Going to work in the red zone, they can pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Handoff to the single running back. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And you've got to think there's 11 guys on defense right now keying in on this running back. They've watched the tape. They've seen this guy gash defenses. He's scored a boatload of touchdowns this season. You're anticipating him getting the football here.
They'll try to run for it. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
What a huge stop by the defense, forcing the 4th down and making the 4th down and go a little bit harder by getting a lost yardage play. Nice job bowing up by this defense.
And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. Absolutely perfect. And they'll push that lead out a little further. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Pac-12 teams colliding today in a huge matchup, and now it's a final. Washington had an impressive showing at home, and to do it with some of the legends of the past there, Mark Brunell, Napoleon Kaufman, and Lincoln Kennedy, what a special victory. This game may or may not impact the college football playoff, fellas, but it's bound to shake up the Pac-12 standings.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. That deficit has now grown to double digits, down 17-7 as they start this drive. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. And here's the 3rd interception of the night. He goes down right there, but not before coming up with a big interception.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His 3rd interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
They'll go to the toss. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. Let's talk for a minute about LSU. With just a few games remaining, they're atop the conference standings. Jesse, how hard is it not to look ahead at this point?
Really, really hard, because everybody's talking about the conference championship, who you might play. You still got to deal, and you still got to take care of business on the field today. That's the most important thing. It's been a phenomenal season up to this point, David. Great things ahead, potentially, but you got to win this one today.
Well, and I think that's what's really important. It's a great start, and now it's about finishing the season. To be at the top is awesome, but you can't lose a conference game or 2 conference games and get yourself out of the mix here right at the end when you're so close to the finish line.
Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Power football with the run. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Tigers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Here's a quick throw out to the left. Several defenders there to get him on the ground.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
They'll run for it on 3rd and short. That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Looking to convert, LSU comes to the line on 4th. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Puts it out of the air. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip-shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down. But they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
On the ground with the counter. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. It's a draw. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
And those plays from a defensive perspective, man, they're just super annoying because now I'm in the worst spot ever, 3rd and manageable. Like, I don't know if you're passing, don't know if you're running, so nice job by this offense keeping this defense off balance and creating a 3rd down opportunity that's in their favor.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Quick catch on 3rd down. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a 1st down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And here they come going for the 1st down on 4th and 2. Snap it to the back. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Nice job by the defense on 4th down, bowing up, getting physical, stopping the run, shutting down that 4th down play. Really good job by this defense.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. He leaves it with the back. Tried to get him a little breathing room, and they're still suffocating in their own end. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Moore will throw. He's got an open man. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the 1st down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
1st and 10 from their own 17. Looking downfield on 1st down. Floats it out in space. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Gets it to him on the screen. Turning it on. They've got him now. He almost picked up that 1st down on the screen.
Love the execution there on the screen. The running back shows pass protect, last second turns around, so he's able to get the ball. The D linemen have already run past him. Now he can turn upfield for a big gainer.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. Looking to throw for it. It's complete. He'll make a play on third down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop. Caught the shotgun snap and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning two. That was beautiful.
Wants to go up top on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Wilson. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His fourth interception. They bring him down, but it'll be first down at the 42.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field. Because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Second down, they'll go to the air. A shot toward the end zone. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
You got to give the defense a ton of credit there on third down, able to force that incompletion on an absolute bomb. You can see why defensive coordinators get nervous facing this quarterback. He has tremendous arm talent. He threw that thing more than 60 yards in the air. But the defenders on the back end stayed in position, made sure there wasn't a catch. That was a fantastic play defensively.
Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. And no chance for the return man to get his hands on that one as it hops out of bounds. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Gators will boot it away to start the second half. Looking for blockers. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Three tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. He just terrorizes quarterbacks, his 30th career sack.
And that's an amazing number, 30 sacks, because a lot of guys get sacks early in their careers, and then coordinators figure it out and then start double-teaming them and sliding and chipping, and then their numbers come down. This guy, though, David, has never stopped.
And it's got to be consistently, Jesse. Like, you got to consistently play hard, play after play, because sometimes they get rid of the ball fast. Sometimes you can't get in the mix. But to get to the quarterback 30 times, very few people have done that.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Might be changing the route. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. It's caught downfield. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
Right there, I think you need a better play call. You got to help your quarterback out a little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting the guy to make a few dudes miss in order to go pick up that first down. I think you need to start being a bit more aggressive here when these 3rd downs present themselves.
And the offense with no intention to draw the defense off sides. They want to run on 4th down. The RPO, it's complete. Will not get there. A 4th down stop.
And listen, obviously, at this area of the field, it's a question, it's a debate whether or not you go for that on 4th down. At the end of the day, though, I think this coach believes in his own playmakers, and he's got guys on offense that he feels can make a play in that type of situation, and he's got confidence in him. That time they weren't able to come up with it. I'm curious to see what this guy does if they're in a similar situation as this game moves on.
Got it behind the line. It's Warren. Gets it inside the 10. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep. And the Gators want to pick up the tempo. Defense showing blitz, trying to rattle this quarterback. They'll run it on 1st and goal. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Florida! The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
And he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. That lead has dwindled down to 3 now to see if they have a response. On the run, still looking. And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
And the defense gets a huge play. I'll tell you, they've been wreaking havoc in this one so far. They've got so many athletes up front on this defensive line. It kind of reminds me about the defenses I used to go against in practice back in the late 90s. Guys like Javon Curse coming off the edge. The freak. It was a nightmare. So hard for our guys to block. We felt like game day was easier than what we faced in practice. And I tell you, this D-line by the Gators, what they got this year, they are special.
Now on 1st down from the 30. Wants to throw on 1st down. Fires to the big fella. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on 1st down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Finding open areas. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
And a nice crisp run. Great job. Maybe expecting pass, in 2nd down, but really good job running the football, committing to it, getting the 1st down.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Lindsey. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football, he was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Another interception. That's number 17 on the year. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3/4 of a football game.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. They put it in the end zone the last time they had it, and now an opportunity to really take control of this game. There he goes. Oh, what a cut. Touchdown Gators. And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did on the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Fires to the big fella. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
Quarterback may change this route. They'll try to get the first through the air. Quickly out to the tight end. And he'll pick up the first down, but he got drilled on that tackle.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. Looking for a huge play. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. And he throws another interception, his 3rd one of the night. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Flips it out in the flat. At the 40, there he goes. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one.
And that's why if you're the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
More to the air. Quickly complete. Oh, he's got some space. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score.
Well, look, this quarterback has struggled a little bit in this game with interceptions. Maybe he was being too greedy early on. That time made a real good decision. I'll tell you what, that's a nice catch by the running back because that ball's in the air a long time. You're throwing it all the way out to the flat like that. He looked like a receiver making that catch and getting extra yards.
We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Florida on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Caught in the backfield, it's Wilson. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Looking to fire. He makes a grab. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it, first and goal. Throw him to the spot, and that's exactly what he did to pick up the first down.
And that's so many hours of doing this together. You know exactly when he's going to break on that out route. You know what kind of speed he has because you've thrown it so many times. Nice rhythm and timing, and you could tell that was experience between receiver and quarterback.
So this offense has the lead. They have the ball. They have the clock on their side and a chance perhaps to put it out of reach. Touchdown, Florida! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. The lead grows, and you can sense they know how important wins are this late here in Week 11. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, it has gone final in that fascinating Pac-12 matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Oregon delivered maybe its most thorough thumping in years in a game that featured a ton of big plays, not unlike the way LaMichael James, Kenyon Barner, and Jonathan Stewart used to do it. Pac-12 football at its finest, gentlemen. Just when you think you have things figured out, a game like this happens.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Well, we've got a close game here at the start of the fourth quarter, right? This team obviously is down, but they're not playing it close to the vest. Being aggressive, first play of the drive, trying to throw it down the field. They're going to have to complete some of these if they're going to get this comeback win in this game.
Back to pass on second down. And that one had some juice on it, but it's incomplete.
And that's where quarterbacks, you know, they got to be very assertive. They got to believe what they see and really pull the trigger. But the longer they wait and they get off rhythm or off timing, a lot of times it ends up in incomplete passes.
Now on 3rd and 10, if they can move the chains here, maybe they can get this drive started. From the gun, wants to pass. Complete in the middle. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. They absolutely had to have that third down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get the third down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
And this offense is going to have to come up clutch, man. Like late in the football game, you are trailing. This is why you get paid the big bucks. This is why the quarterback is the glamour position. Like, you've got to trust him. He's got to come through. They got to put a few drives together here to get back in this football game.
This freshman quarterback is slinging it out there to pick up that first down. The Tigers look to keep this drive humming. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. They just keep firing. Bringing the heat. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. For the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. We thought we'd see a little wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. Direct snap. It's Gibson. Got enough for the first. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it out of bounds at the 46.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
So they come to the line, and the Wildcat going to give them a different look. On the direct snap, it's Gibson.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just nowhere to run, not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
On the snap, it's Gibson. Defense played the Wildcat very well on that one, stopping them for a short gain.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Punt is in the air on fourth down. And the returner is stopped. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Blasted as he lets it go. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive.
Man, this defense did a perfect job understanding the situation. You know you got the lead. You know they're going to be passing. And you come after the quarterback, get the big hit. You get pressure on the quarterback, good things happen, and they make the big INT.
This offense has it with really good field position. Defense showing blitz. Will they bail out of it? They want that clock to run. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
And I like the first thought process right here. Run the football. We want to run that clock with the lead. Thank you to the defense for forcing that turnover, setting us up. Now if we can put a few first downs together, we're looking really good.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. He'll take it himself. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
Complete on third down. At the 20, he's got space. And he takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. An explosive play for this offense. Boy, the defense really needed to get off the field there, and they just couldn't do it, and it's a fresh set of downs.
Man, that hurts. When you're trailing late in the ball game, you need those stops, and you get them to third down. You get them to those critical points. Now they get the first down. You don't have many left. You better get aggressive.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
And this is a perfect situation. This is a situation, if you asked me to be in before the game, the coaches would have been in heaven. I got the football. I got the lead on their side of the field. Nice gain on first down. Same exact script. Do it again. Run the football, run the clock, let that thing tick down. And if we add points, we add points.
If they can move that thing 1 yard here, that'll probably wrap this baby up. This is a designed run. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line? The Gators come to the line in the hurry up. On the move. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
Well, the defense got the stop there on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can do it again here on 4th and inches then.
I just got to find a way to fall forward, be physical. We work on this all week. You know you're going for it on 4th down.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Gators! They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3. That one might have put the finishing touches on this game.
This one is over. Game, set, match. The defense had a chance to maybe kind of keep their team in it, but the offense said, take it to the locker room.
And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he has had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions.
And he's thrown another interception. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the 4th quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
And that's why he is an all-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the...
Touchdown, Florida! And the punishment has been extended. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's recap that Big 12 matchup that just went final moments ago. Texas stomped a mud hole en route to a double-digit win, and they did it outside of Austin city limits. That speaks to the way this coach has galvanized this team and the direction this program is headed. This game may or may not impact the college football playoff, fellas, but it's bound to shake things up in the Big 12 standings.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. He's taking a deep shot. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
Trying play action. Still looking on the move. And it'll be incomplete. He got on the move trying to make something happen, but just couldn't find a man.
It's been tough for this QB in this one. Very small windows to throw into, and he's been under some duress as well. It's hard to find a rhythm as a QB in those types of situations, and that's why it appears as though his team's going to be leaving here with an L.
Now facing a 3rd and long. He wants to change this route. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Here's a throw downfield late. A sensational grab down the field there as they try to at least put a positive spin on the end of this game. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, LSU!
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they've got. On the direct snap, it's Gibson. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
On the direct snap, it's Gibson. Breaks into the open. And that's how you finish it off. Scoring on the final play of the game doesn't affect the outcome. Just a little cherry on top of the sundae. Boy, did he just scorch that defense for that score.
He shows you all of it, Reese. He's got the speed. He's got the agility. This dude's a big-time playmaker. You just give him the ball, and he'll find different ways to kill you on different plays.